All right, JYD, you ready? Okay, let's go.
Hey, legend shooting for peace. Dunbar, Chicago, the Windy City is gonna be blowing all over these youngsters out here because the legends have come to not just pay homage to the school, but give them some lessons as we fly. Chicago chapter's here, Sean Marion's here. Let's get it.
Wow, this 5-year journey has been amazing.
How you doing?
We are 5th annual Shooting for Peace Legends Game. It's just an awesome day for the students and for the school and for the city of Chicago. This is what students need. They need this opportunity to see that these former players, they care about us.
Education is free if you're willing to put the time in. All these legends came here today to show you. They want to show you that there's opportunity out here, whether you play basketball or not. We're coming here today with academic scholarships.
We appreciate the work you put in the classroom. Your hard work is worth money.
Over the last 5 years, we've given a lot of scholarships.
Good job, congratulations.
Whenever you can see kids just be excited about people that paved the way and trailblazed in front of them, you see that, it's like, wow, oh, I can be great. They came from humble beginnings as well.
As legends, you never do things fast. You do them nice and slow so you can actually impart some knowledge on these young minds out there. That milkshake strawberry was definitely working out there, especially on that last assist. Oh! You saw that foul. If somebody hit it, you win. If you don't, we get a tie. Hey! Building champions and changing lives. Shooting for peace. Ho, 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 ho.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And it is April the 29th. So we are in the last remaining really days and hours of Financial Awareness Month. And on behalf of Team Shooting for Peace, we hope that you've had a wonderful month and have gained some knowledge and some comfort, as well as some confidence around managing your finances and building that awareness and strength for moving forward. With that, my name is Alexis Holmes, and I am one of the members of Team Shooting for Peace, and we're so happy to be joining you here this morning. And in the interest of time, we want to make sure that we are really giving you all the information that you are awaiting, and quite frankly, here to see so many of our wonderful guest speakers, and you truly are in for a treat this morning. For our first special guest, because we have so many treats over this next hour, we have joining us Dr. Tricia Braxton of the Nevada State Board of Education. And we are so grateful for giving us her time, generosity of time, and for her leadership and devotion to students and families and communities. And so with that, Dr. Braxton, if you could give us a few comments and start us off.
Hello, I am Dr. Tricia Braxton, elected member to the Nevada State Board of Education, representing District 1. I support improving student success and supporting teachers and educators. I also support enlisting community involvement to help that happen. I am so glad to uplift the incredible work of retired NBA player Jerome Williams. Jerome's vision to give back to communities and moreover our youth is a testament to his compassionate and competitive nature. Building strong teams of youth ready for tomorrow matters. Together with Ms. Alexis Holmes, the work of Shooting for Peace provides experiential learning for students to reinforce the fundamentals of learning that are crucial for soft skill development. I'm so glad to help bring this incredible initiative to the Las Vegas Valley communities and beyond.
Thank you so much, Dr. Braxton. Thank you for, again, your generosity of time and really setting the tone and getting us started here today. So we thoroughly appreciate you and look forward to your partnership. Again, we are here as Shooting for Peace and here to celebrate and honor you. And also, as Dr. Braxton said, provide resources. And we will talk about all of those resources through the next hour or so and make sure that you have access to a wealth of financial education resources, as well as resources dedicated to developing skills and certifications in AI. Also wanted to share with you that Shooting for Peace is a global initiative, and we have gone all over North America as well as far as Asia and Africa, bringing resources and bringing love and also bringing encouragement and inspiration to students and families and communities across the globe. With that, also wanted to share with you an acronym and what Shooting for Peace, peace actually stands for. The P is for prosperity, the E is for excellence, the A is for access, the C is for connections, and the E is for empowerment. And for today, we hope that you have an opportunity to experience all of those important attributes of our organization and, quite frankly, of this movement. And with that, we'd like to highlight a few videos from some of our amazing partners, including Discovery Education, as well as providing some additional background on the Tech Queen. And so with that, let's let the video roll.
Hi, my name is Tony Robinson and I work for Discovery Education. And I have one question for you. Are you ready for your future? Thinking about what you want to do when you grow up can be a little stressful, especially when you don't even know what's out there. What if the job you're meant to do isn't even on your radar yet? What if there are careers out there that match how you think and how you work, but you just haven't discovered them yet? Luckily, there's a tool that lets you start exploring careers right now. From your phone, you can explore from your laptop or wherever you are. One career area that you might want to explore is STEM careers. They aren't just one thing, they're actually everywhere. You can design apps, build sustainable cities, work in sports technology, creating the next big thing that people can't live without. There are hundreds of paths, but most people never explore them. And that's why the STEM Careers Coalition exists. It's a place where you can actually explore careers in a real way, not just read about them, but experience them. You can watch short videos, hear directly from people doing the work, ask questions, and figure out what it actually takes to do the job. You can even explore based on what matters to you. Do you want to work indoors or outdoors? Do you like collaborating with others or working solo? Are you interested in going through a lot of education or just some training? And can you find something that truly motivates and interests you? The right career isn't just about skills, but it's also about the fit. So here's the deal. You don't have to have your whole life figured out right now, but you can start exploring what's out there. I'm going to give you a challenge. Check out the STEM Careers Coalition site. Pick 3 careers that you've never heard of. Watch at least 2 of the videos and find one career that actually interests you. Your future is bigger than your current view, so expand it. Go and explore. Click, watch, and discover.
Welcome to the Tech Queen Elite Training Institute. We are so excited to have this new location partnership with Shooting for Peace right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to have AI training, certification, and help desk for students all across the United States. We're happy to be a host location for Shooting the Peace with Jerome, Junkyard Dog Williams. Take the sweater off. So let me just tell you, exam room 1, this is where they come, get trained, they study, and take their exam. The first African-American mayor of the city of Barstow, California, first African-American in your Las Vegas Real Foundation. You go in here, you study, you prep for your exam, and you will pass. That's the 3D printing room, sponsored by Caesars Entertainment Foundation. 3D printing, all these cute little signs right here on all of the rooms were created by our students, 3D printing. This right here is the main tech hub, keeping our country safe. They're learning cybersecurity, help desk, all those skills that are necessary. Right here, can't bypass. 24hourgospel.com room, live studio here with all your tech tools, audio and video production right outside that room. Come on back to massage room. Most people get stressed, they have anxiety when it's trying to take an exam. Oh yeah.
Ready to do a podcast.
You ready to do a podcast? Come on into the podcast room. That's right. Who better to do a podcast with than Jerome, Junkyard Dog Williams. Here is our employer relations room. Bam! This is where you go to prep before we send you out as either an entrepreneur or a employee.
I'm ready to make a presentation.
Preacher, Junkyard, he's become a preacher now. He's at the pulpit. That's okay. He's preaching the message to these young people that they can get trained, certified, and deployed. Uh-oh.
Wouldn't have shooting for peace if you couldn't.
Here we go. Here we go. 3 points. 3 points. I've come to the authorized partner. We have students on the spectrum with autism. Come in here. We have games. Keep your mind going. Partnering with the state as a state training provider, and we're ready to do it up as a CompTIA, globally recognized certifications by CompTIA all over the world, not just the United States. Look at, whoa.
Chief Technology Officer in the house.
Hey everybody.
That's all. Shooting for Peace. Make sure you sign up, kids, because look, the Tech Queen, she got you. We're trying to get you paid.
Moolah, dinero. We're going to show you, this is a sample of every student that comes through our programs that gets trained and certified in AI, ready to make some income. And I'm talking real sustainable income. They're going to be awarded by the congressional and Senate leader in their state. That's right. We're not playing. See this whole stack right here? This is going to all of the graduates that just completed in the state of Nevada. When you finish this program, you don't just get a certificate, because you're like, certificate is not going to pay the bills. Good morning. I want you to look around the room you are in for a second. Every single person is standing at the edge of possibility. Not someday, not when I'm older, but right now. Today, I'm here to talk to you a few minutes about technology, AI, coding pathways, and choice. Because choice is the real superpower. Let's start with the truth. We all know life will and can be lifing. Life don't ask permission before it shows up. Challenges come. Distractions come. Pressures certainly come. I had no idea after I married my college sweetheart that he would be diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a chronic illness that left him gravely ill over a 15-year period. Then after I moved my parents from Detroit, where I grew up, to Las Vegas, years later, they both would also have chronic illnesses. Long story short, not only did my mom pass away, and actually she died in my arms, but my husband also passed away. And so did my dad the following day, a year later. So I'm not looking for any pity party, or sympathy. I'm here to remind you that when pressures of life come, and they will, what matters most is how we respond when life starts lifing. Here's something powerful I'm going to share with you that most people never learn. Now is defined as 0 to 5 seconds. That's it. That's the only time a decision can be made. What separates us as human beings from other creatures on this planet is that we have the conscious ability to make a choice in the now. And those choices, especially the split second ones, set the direction of our lives. Juvenile halls and prisons are filled with people, students your age, in a moment of time who made the wrong choice. One decision, one reaction, one now. And their entire life trajectory changed. But today, you're presented with a different kind of moment, a moment when one decision can positively change the direction of your life. Let's talk about technology and AI. AI is not the future, it's the present. Help desk and tech support are not just starter jobs, they are career pathways into six-figure tech pathways. Technology doesn't care where you're from. It doesn't care about your zip code or what color you are, your ethnic background. It doesn't even care about who you are. What it cares about is skill, focus, and commitment. That's why the Tech Queen Elite Training Institute exists and have partnered with Shooting for Peace to give you real access to AI education, help desk, and technical support pathways, hands-on experience with Ushta AI platform, mentorship structure, and real-world skills that you can use immediately. We've partnered with Shooting for Peace because, let me tell you, peace is not just about staying out of trouble. It's about having a future worth protecting. Now, let me share one of our boss core teachings because this is critical. There are 3 ways that people normally get defeated in life, and I'm going to share it with you. Number 1, they have no plan. Number 2, they could have a plan, but they're not committed to the plan if they have a plan. Number 3, they lose focus or move too slow. Moving too slow is just as dangerous as not moving at all. Opportunities don't wait, success doesn't chase, and purpose doesn't beg. If something is placed in front of you today, which it will be an opportunity, it's because today is your time to act. This right now is a never before opportunity, an opportunity to learn technology, an opportunity to master AI, an opportunity to build skills that can change your family's future, not just yours. But it only works if you act now. Remember, now is, turn to your neighbor, say 0 to 5 seconds. 0 to 5 seconds. That's right. We're going to go church for a minute. That's the window where confidence is built. That's the window where leaders are formed. That's the window where courage shows up. You don't have to figure it out all today. You don't even have to be perfect, as you heard earlier. You don't even have to be fearless. You just have to be willing to stay focused when others get distracted, willing to stay committed when others quit, willing to move when others hesitate. So today, I'm challenging you to stay hopeful, stay focused, stay encouraged. Do not move too slow on opportunities placed in front of you today. Choose growth, choose discipline, choose a future powered by technology, skill, and purpose. Because when life starts lifing, and remember it will, you'll be ready. And I promise you, the best is not behind you. The best is not even someday, but the best is yet to come. Thank you, and I'll see you in the now.
Oh, it's so good to see you, and thank you much for sharing all of that wisdom and opportunity. Stay encouraged. No question about it. Everyone, please stay encouraged and always trust yourself and continue to believe. And although he needs no introduction, and I will keep it very short and sweet, but we are now in for a treat. And here we are about to have the full experience. Joining us next up to the stage and to the mic, NBA legend, father, husband, founder, community leader, Jerome Junkyard Dog Williams.
You know what? It's time to go to work. Let's go. What up, world? This is Jerome Williams, JYD, aka the Junkyard Dog. Now I'll be taking you behind the scenes of meeting those change makers in our world and what it takes to truly create the future we want to see. 3 more 3. 1, 2, 3.
Supported in every step. Father in my I just want to say, keep working, keep living right, keep trusting God, and everything will work out, my man. Aggressive but not pursue my passion.
So, Jeremiah, I heard your nickname the dog. It don't matter. I'm always just focused on getting buckets.
Nonchalant, I keep it proper with my reaction. Any state, any coach, I find comfort in being with who I trust the most.
There's a Junkyard Dog. All of
the legacy we carry in the same name.
The basketball is easy. The game around the game is hard. There's a large world out here. I'm always traveling and on the go. So when that happens, I'm always in the mix as JYD, but sometimes that switches over to dad, husband, nephew, and family business is what it's all about. So grab a pen and a pencil, take notes, and get ready to become a new member of our family business. Dog pound, baby, let's go.
Yeah, family business. Come on now, family business.
Well, this was just the start of my journey. That's why those videos on career development are so important, because after high school, I was trying to figure out what my career was going to be. I was trying to figure out credit. I was trying to figure out, what I was going to do to advance in life. And I came to the conclusion that community college was my best bet because it was affordable and I could actually still have a pathway to a major college. So I chose that route. And when I chose that route, I had to do what? I had to go find some sort of career, even starting off right out of high school. And weren't a lot of things available at the time. I could, work at a restaurant. I actually started pumping gas. I could mow lawns. There was some things that I could do to earn money, wash cars. I worked at all those types of jobs, and I saved my money in order to pay my tuition. Well, where did that leave me? First and foremost, I kept my grades up. Secondly, I was able to take advantage of still playing basketball at the community college where I was attending at Montgomery. And then from there, I was able to secure my associate's degree through hard work, dedication, and just making sure I stayed on task, just like you guys are doing today. You staying on task, you're at school, you're present, you can hear my voice, so that means you showed up. That's the first lesson. Secondly, get that pen and pad out. Make sure you're taking notes, paying attention to the teacher. Financial literacy can really help you later on in life. So my career went from Montgomery College to getting multiple scholarship offers out of Montgomery College because I had done something that I wasn't expected to do, which was grow 7 inches. Grew 7 inches, I was 6'9". Now, a lot of colleges wanted my services on the basketball court. So this took me to even greater heights. And as you can see from the picture on the screen,
all roles lead to greatness. And my roles were straight from high school, from middle school to high school, to going to college, and then playing alongside future Hall of Famer Allen Iverson, who was my roommate at Georgetown. I get drafted into the NBA in the first round of the 1996 draft with some very famous players such as Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Ray Allen, Marcus Camby, Ben Wallace, other Hall of Famers that are already doing wonderful things around the globe. But it all started from just having the dream of wanting to play the game, wanting to play basketball, and just saying, I can do it. Whatever it comes, I can do it. And kept those memories to make sure that whatever role I got, I was going to give it my best, my 110% effort all the time, every day, even when I didn't feel like it, even when I was like tired or frustrated or, really just nervous about what I was going to get as a grade or what have you. I was going to give it 110%. And that's what each and every one of you who can hear my voice right now can do for yourself. All roles lead to greatness. Do not diminish your role. Do not diminish your value by telling yourself you're less than, because you're not. Everybody has a different thought or different way that they want to pursue the workforce. And these percentages don't lie, because 56% of all workers planned on looking for a new job in the year 2023. So a few years ago. Now, that number, I guarantee, has gone up. Why? Because of technology. AI is changing the world, is changing the landscape of work, and it's basically impacting the availability of jobs. So new jobs are becoming less in the workforce, and then there's other jobs that are starting to creep in that have to be verified that you can do certain things that you didn't have to do a few years back. And did you know that 39% of the workforce is based on their relationship satisfaction, meaning they only want to go to work with people they like? 39% of them voted that. So studies are starting to show us that various statistics are very important. 80% of leaders found that they weren't even prepared to lead because they got hired and they said, hey, we want you to fulfill this role. So their roles changed, and 80% of those people said that they were not prepared. So you never know when your opportunity is going to come, is basically what we're saying. We're also saying that the role that you have today can lead to a future leadership role if you put the time and the effort in. I couldn't become team captain of the basketball team until I sat where the other student athletes sat, in a non-leadership role. And then once I saw that, I was able to look at it and say to myself, man, that's me. In Montgomery College, before I got to Georgetown University and before I got a scholarship, I had an awesome opportunity. I was on spring break. I'm down at Daytona Beach. And if you look at these pictures right now, this is me. This is me right out of high school, getting my chance to play against one of the NBA's all-time greats, Hall of Famer, Dr. J. Julius Erving. Now, some of you might not know Dr. J. Well, basically, I can give you who he is. But at the time, he was like LeBron James, Luka Doncic. He was like James Harden. He was like the face of the NBA. And I get to play him one-on-one. Can you imagine that? I mean, just minding your business and then putting up your hand when someone says, hey, I'm going to choose someone to play one-on-one, and you get chosen. That was me. That was my opportunity. I play him one-on-one. We have a great time. I end up losing by 1 point. You know what Dr. J told me? He said, Jerome, you're going to make it to the NBA. And I said, excuse me? What are you talking about? How do you say I'm going to make it to the NBA? And he said, the NBA is going to find you. And I said, find me? I'm not even at a major college. I'm not even really playing on any type of real stage. And he said, don't worry, they're going to find you. And at the time, I thought that that was just beyond the scope of my life or where I was. But what I'm telling each and every one of you as an example, if you put the work in, people and opportunities will find you. And that is what leads us to the big question of what it takes to be great without being a star. Because, see, I wasn't a star yet. And many of you, look at yourselves just like I looked at myself. I'm not a star, but you are a star. You can be an unsung hero who builds teams and changes lives. You can be a humble servant willing to serve. You can be a creative visionary who sees distant light in the tunnel. But it all starts with your inspiration. It all starts with you honing in on the fact that you can do whatever you set your mind to. You got to believe in yourself. You got to put that foot forward and say to yourself, I can do this. And that's basically what I did. I took the steps and I said, I am going to work hard and live with my results, whether it's in class, on tests, projects, papers, exams, assessments. I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to study. I'm going to do whatever it takes to just give my all and let the chips fall what they may. So when we hit the next slide, guess what? Success leads to the first thing, which is the mission. What is your mission? Knowing your why, a clear purpose drives relentless effort. You got to know what's driving you. What are you trying to accomplish? For me, it was the NBA. That was the ultimate mission. But I knew that in order to do that, I had to think about how I can inspire others to see greatness in every role. Like, I had to be humble. I had to work with others and have good teamwork. I had to do immaculate service, meaning whatever the coach wanted us to do, I had to excel at it. I had to really go above and beyond. I couldn't just do the average. I had to go and put my best foot forward. That's what your mission is. Your mission has to do with whatever is making your heart beat fast. When you get excited about your mission, you know you're on the right path. Now, once you get your mission locked in, you got to get to the method of how to succeed in your role. So I say as a role player, but in your role, you have to figure out that methodology. First and foremost, let's put those fingertips up. You have to be relentless, always giving 100% effort. And the opportunistic, maximizing every moment where you are is going to really propel how you succeed at your method. You have to be adaptable. Playing whatever role the team needs is always a great, aspect of figuring out the methodology of what you're trying to do, because they like people who can adapt, people who can shift, people who not just say, oh, I'm just locked into this. I can't change. I can't pivot. No, today is an ever-changing world. You got to be adaptable. When AI comes on, you got to figure out, I got to look into this. Not just dive in, but also just say, hey, I got to keep an eye on it, or, learn a little bit more about it. You got to be accountable. Can we count on you to show up every day? Can we count on you to show up every day? If your attendance in school going to represent the same attendance you would do at a job, well, that's a good representation of how your methods line up. And last but not least, this is the elephant in the room. Are you likable? Do people like you? Or they kind of just standoffish? Now, likability can be a lot of different things, because can you really bring joy to a situation? The workforce is a very, tedious place, whether you're high impact or just researcher or whatever. You still have to bring some level of joy to people around you, because that helps them move. That helps them to do what they have to do. So your methods have to be, things like, hey, I might be the person that picks up and gets the coffee and donuts in the morning, once a month. That could be one of your methods. But at the end of it all, it leads us to our last of the 3 M's. the measurables. So we have mission, we have method, and now we have the measurables, which actually track the impact beyond stats that not every stat shows up. So you have to be able to measure what's happening. In school today, you guys are getting tested, you're getting report cards, you're getting assessments, and those are the things that measure what you've learned, measure how you've done, right? Now, there's average, there's good, and there's excellent. Anything below that means you kind of didn't put forth enough effort, right? You really didn't meet the mark. So we're going to stay on average, good, and excellent, because those will at least lead you to measurables that comply with completion, right? If you get C's, hey, it's not the best grade, but it is average. It is where most people are. If you get good, that means you're above the average person and you're looked at as such. Now, if you get excellent, meaning straight A's or some A's mixed in, well, that means you're in some certain areas of where you are, you excel, right? And everybody is different. That's why we talk about roles, because when we talk about measurables, team chemistry, morale, and leadership, they're all lumped together, but they all do different things. Game-changing plays, ideas, energy, people who bring that kind of thing. They always told me I was an energy person. The rebounding leaders right here in the East of the NBA at a time in around 2000, you had the great Dikembe Mutombo, who has since passed away. He was one of the top rebounders. Elton Brand out of Duke University, another top rebounder. And then I got featured on there as a top rebounder. So this is just a flash throwback card that I just happened to throw on this slide, but it really means a lot because these are game-changing plays to be a top rebounder in the NBA. These are energy ideas that really set the tone. So as we finish and close out, before we close out, I want to just express to you, mission, method, and measurables can ultimately lead to your success of all roles leading to greatness. And earlier we heard from the tech queen about AI training. There's also for kids who are 18 and over, there's cybersecurity training that you can get certified through the Department of Labor. And during Financial Literacy Month, these are jobs and opportunities, just like Discovery Education had put forth in terms of your career development. So in order to do that, there's opportunities if you go to app2.shootingforpeace, and you can sign up for these free courses, get certified, and really move forward in life with extra motivation and with extra focus and care, because all roles lead to greatness. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to what I'm saying. This app and then where we're showing you to go have also other opportunities there as well, because financial literacy is absolutely on the app too. Shooting for Peace for you to look at, learn about credit, banking, and all those different things related to financial literacy, as well as access to future Ask a Pro sessions. You get my free role player book. Yeah, this book is out of sight. You got to see it when it comes back on. I'll show you a quick copy of it, but you get a digital copy just from these free resources by going to the website to gain access. Type in app2.shootingforpeace.com. And without further ado, that's the book you'll receive, and you'll be able to learn a lot more about playing your role. Now, this is where the fun comes. You guys get to ask me questions in reference to anything that we talked about today, anything that you heard today, anything that motivates you today, financial literacy questions, money questions, career development questions, even questions about my career. Is all open season because it's your time. it's your time to really ask these types of things. And we got a little bit of time here. So I'm going to look into the chat and I'm going to see what actually is coming up in terms of the questions.
Hey, Rome, one question that someone asked is, what was one of the trying times that you had in your career, and then how'd you get over that?
Definitely a trying time in my career was definitely at junior college when I really did not know where I was going to end up. There was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of hours that I was putting in, saving my money. The one thing I learned about credit at the time, that I had overspent on my credit card, and all I could do was pay the minimum balance, meaning I was paying a high interest rate, and you're just working, right? You're working, you're paying off every month, but it's not, the balance isn't going down. And that was one of the struggles that I had because I had a lot of stress, right? You're in school, you're trying to get your grades. You're also trying to live, and you don't know where you're going to end up. But the one thing I remember was just telling myself, as long as I work hard, as long as I give it my all, things will work out. Things will go and move in the right direction. And I kept that attitude every day and I stayed positive. That positive mindset propelled me because it got opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And those are the things that you will get in life when you're just positive, when you kind of try to bring joy to a situation and bring joy to the people around you. Then they tend to expect that from you. And also they look out and try to, you know, remind people of who you are. And that's basically what happened to me. So I know it can happen for you. You just got to step out there on faith and do what's right all the time.
Awesome. Another question that they had is, how can students use their talents or interests to positively impact their community?
Well, the number one thing that you can do with your talent is volunteer. You know, there are so many organizations, and especially youth serving organizations, as well as community serving organization, environmental organizations that you can help with your service, with your talent, especially. And most kids, some kids say to themselves, well, I don't really have a talent right now. Yes, you do. Everybody has a talent. If you can talk, if you can tell a joke, if you can read, there's all types of talents that are needed. I know some students would go to nursing homes and read to the elderly. That's a talent. And some didn't even have to read. Some, are able to connect with pets. Some people like to, plant crops and trees and different things for the environment. That's a talent. There's all types of talents, from cleaning windows to, pouring concrete. I remember my grandfather was a concrete expert, and he only had a third grade education, but he understood, how to create. And kids know that. Kids have talent. They just have to learn that they have value with their talent, and they have to be willing to give it away first. Give it away, and then that helps to open doors to what comes next.
The next question that we got is, what's a habit or mindset that has helped you?
Wow. The best habit and mindset that helped me was just to stay positive. There are a lot of things going on in a lot of kids' heads, because there was a lot of stuff going on in my head as a kid and still to this day. But the one thing I do know is that we all have basically kind of like two voices in our heads, kind of like a good voice. And then there's a voice that just not necessarily bad, but it could be unsure. It could be wrong advice. It could be the wrong step, the wrong decision. But this choice over here tends to be the one that's the most difficult. The most difficult could be being nice when everybody's mean. It could be studying when it's time to go and maybe scroll on the internet or look at social media. This one could be, doing the right thing, which would be to help, hold the door open or just walking through the door knowing there's people behind you, right? Which one do you choose? And the more you choose and create habits that are harder, tougher, but are the right thing to do, man, it opens doors because you never know who's watching. I remember when I got an NBA contract, and the general manager said he remembered when I was being drafted before I got drafted that I had held the elevator door for an elderly woman, and that stuck out in his mind, and that reminded me that I was a good person, that he wanted to sign me later on down the road. Like those things, you don't know who's watching or paying attention, right? So if you create good habits, things can happen in the future down the road that will benefit you, your family, yourself, your well-being. To this day, I get opportunities just based on how I treated someone in the past. And those things are very important. What's one of the most financial literacy lessons that I wish I would have done later? I think it had to do with credit. If I had learned more about credit and investing early, I think that those would be the best financial literacy decisions that could have impacted my life today. I've definitely made some great strides as I moved forward in college, but the earlier you start, the better, right? So compound interest, that's one thing that I live off of today. I live off of money I've saved and the compounding of interest, meaning the money that compounds over time, is basically my salary today, in retirement from the NBA. And I learned that many moons ago, right? So that's one of the things that I wish I would have learned even younger, because it can really change your life. So as a young person, look it up, study it, read about it, gain knowledge about it, because those are the things that will really help you, benefit you later on in life when, you might want to do other things. So having that financial literacy backdrop, knowing that, credit is very useful, but you have to use it as a positive tool and not something that's going to kind of break you down and withhold a lot of things from you. You want it to be able to, take you to the next level, right? Having a high credit score helps you in areas, but you have to build it up. It's a slow process when you're younger, but there's a lot of traps if you don't have the right mindset and you don't stay disciplined. Because if you buy something you really don't need, or you really, don't need to have at the time, just because you want it and you can, and then you end up paying tenfold for it, doesn't make sense. So those would be the valuable lessons that I would definitely point out that I would change moving forward.
Got it. Next question we got is, who's your favorite teammate when playing in the NBA?
So I had a lot of favorite teammates, but one that just sticks out is Allen Houston from the New York Knicks. The reason why Allen Houston was one of my favorite teammates is his perseverance. I really enjoyed the fact that he was determined to even, battle through a lot of injuries that he had. He was always a good teammate, always was upbeat. And he was, like I said, he was a leader among leaders, even when, the road was rough for him personally. He was going through injuries. And when he did play, he played his heart out and did what he had to do. But the most important thing that he did for me as a teammate was before every game, we went to chapel service together. So that was really fun for a teammate to make sure that every time there was a chapel service, he made sure I was in there and reminding me of where it was. And that to me was a true teammate. So Allen Houston gets my vote.
All right, as we're turning the corner here, I guess as an athlete, it says, for those of us who want to play sports, how do we go about and get sponsorship deals?
Well, NIL is here, my friend, and there are deals out here. Now, the one thing I always tell kids and athletes about NIL is first and foremost, you have to be in the business of name, image, and likeness. It starts with your social media. It starts with your community service and how you're branding yourself. There are a lot of tools out here now that can help you, from AI, that AI training that you can get on app2.shooting for peace can really help student athletes as well as all other businesses, because they can help you create websites that can promote you, that really lend into who you are as a person. So remember I said about community service and volunteering your time with another gift that you might have. As an athlete, you have to have that plan B. So that plan B could be somewhat of a hobby. What if you like to cook? Well, that should be something that you post online and social media. That could attract businesses that are looking at selling products, whether it be food, drinks, seasoning, resources, that the hardware. That's just an area that's really quick off the top of my head of how do you get deals? Well, that's one of them, right? It goes through what you're actually doing and showing the public and the community who you are. So you want to just really dial down into that and think about, like, what do you like to do outside of just your sport? Because that helps you to really have a passion for trying to help someone else in that field, if that makes sense. So for me, um, you know, I like cars, right? So as an athlete, I try to help my teammates with their cars, whether it be washing their cars, finding products for their cars. And through that, I got NIL deals around cars, to the point where I had GM give me cars. I got Buick Enclave, I got the Camaros, I got old school classics. I got Ford. I got a whole bunch of different cars and vehicles, right? And it just is a buildup, because it started with products. It started with different things that I was helping my teammates with. And it's just so funny that, you just kind of choose something that you can connect to, that you were connected to. And then all those products, they started being shipped to my door. So I got car washing products, wax products, tires, exhausts, turbos, window tint, like, technology, everything. And I'm glad that you asked that question, because when it comes down to what it takes, you really look at that PEACE acronym that Miss Alexis talked about earlier, right? Peace, shooting for peace, is just like what you're shooting for with your role and how you do that as an athlete, because you have to have prosperity. You got to do everything that you do with excellence. You have to have some access, right? And access to the community is easy because you have a social media imprint. Then you look at connecting and connections that you have. You got to reach out. You got to be willing to put yourself out there a little bit. And then last but not least, the E is empowerment. You have to empower yourself as an athlete. You can't sit on the sidelines and wait for deals to come to you. You got to go out there and be attentive to what's going on and be opportunistic, right? Got to leverage everything, right? All roads lead to greatness, but you got to start with that relentless mindset of, I'm going to make it happen.
Got it. Okay, we got time for a couple more questions, right? One of them that I see is someone asked, what's the first thing you bought with your first NBA check?
I love it. I love it. The first thing that I purchased, right, was a 1989 Chevy Blazer. That's right. I went and got a used $5,000 car as an NBA first round draft pick. You know why? Because I wasn't rich yet. I wasn't rich. I was trying to be rich, but you have to walk. You got to take steps, baby steps. That's a huge financial literacy lesson right there. Because when everybody was telling me I should go get a Range Rover, Mercedes Benz, Cadillac Escalade, you name it, they were like, this is what all your other first round draft picks are getting. You need to get that. I said, well, if I do that, I've pretty much spent the majority of my first check. And not only that, that car is going to depreciate. Whereas I'm buying something that I can afford that's paid off, that lowers my car insurance, that also lowers my car registration fees, and it's a practical vehicle for where I was going to be in Detroit in the snow. I needed something with four-wheel drive that was reliable. And that car served me well. And it was, and obviously I hooked it up. I made it nice. And it actually got me on the inside of GQ magazine because it was a souped up Chevy Blazer that, I didn't spend, my entire NBA first rookie check with. Because the rest I was able to save and start to do what? Taking advantage of compound interest over time. Save that money. It's better for you in the bank. You know how many Chevy Blazers I can buy now with the money that I actually put in back then because I was more concerned about my future versus my present and how it might look. But good question.
All right, last question before we close it out.
Last question. Come on, B. We just getting
Last
warmed up.
question.
This is Clark County School District. The dog pound is here, and we're here to have fun. And I'm glad you guys are staying so attentive and tuned in and asking me all these great questions. So shout out to Discovery Education. Shout out to Dr. Braxton, Nevada State Board of Education, and man, Miss Alexis, Bryan, the tech queen, everybody in Shooting for Peace team. Go ahead, Bryan. What's the last question?
All right. I guess they want to know a little bit more about what does it mean to be a role model, like even when no one's watching?
Well, being a role model when no one's watching is that you have to practice, right? You got to practice at home. Whatever you do at home is going to happen. It's going to show up when you get outside the house, right? So to be the best role model you can be, you got to do it inside your own dwelling. And sometimes that just means you just got to sit back and listen, because what if you don't have good representations at home? What if you don't get good examples, right? Well, you can spend your time studying about people who are good examples. You can read my book. I'm a pretty good example. You're going to have a free copy of it. You can study this if you don't have a good role model at home. But it does start at home, because when you get outside, in order to be a role model, you have to have the proper mindset. Your mindset has to be right. And then that goes right into what? The 3 M's that we talked about earlier. Your mission, your method, and your measurables. Because those things, when they all line up, and you talk about ROLE, relentless, opportunist, leveraging everything, it all encapsulates. So being a role model really is your thoughts, right? That turn into what? Your actions. Because thoughts turn into words, words turn into actions, and actions lead to your destiny. So you want to make sure all those things are in line, because if one thing gets off track, oh man, it messes up the whole thing. That's the answer to your question. Role model starts with you taking the study of what role you want to play and who you want to influence and in what way, because that's key. People don't want to follow bad people. Got to be a good person. Got to have good energy. You know, I think most of you guys here today, you would have probably got bored out of your mind if I came in and was like, yeah, I'm happy to be here. Good to hear, see you guys. And, hopefully you guys do a good job. Nah, that's not the dog pound. That's not it. That wouldn't work. So I'm here to make sure you guys see the energy and see the positivity, because that's what I believe in each and every one of you. I know you can do it. You could be sitting here just like me. Just takes a little time, a little work, and a lot of focus. Dog pound.